Before you say anything, yes, this is an entire Deepwoken slideshow on how to play support in Deepwoken. Yeah, that's probably a first. Now, I had to do this because I realized not many people actually know how to make a support build, as this is a common question in my server usually, and I just want to address it here. And I'm going to be teaching you tons of talents, what attunements you can consider, and really stuff you should try, I guess. I mean, you'll learn a lot from this video. And one last thing I want to address before we start: Linkstrider isn't a terrible low. Okay, I know it's a common misconception. People say it's like Linkstrider sucks because I don't know why people say it sucks, if I'm gonna be honest, but really I think it's because people try to make Linkstrider a PvP build when that's the complete opposite of what you should be doing. You should be doing more of a track star build, and like I said, this video will help you with that. So let's begin. First, we have stats and talents. Okay, what are we going to be using? So intelligence is a must. You need intelligence in a Linkstrider support build. For Blind Seer, not as much. You don't really need it, but we need it for Linkstrider. So Alchemy Linkstrider, you have to do that. You don't have an option. You literally need to. It's because of our potions we get. The two biggest ones being our health regen and ether drain. Health regen, obvious reason. We need to get health as Linkstrider because we're giving our own health to our teammates. So health potions really just fix that flaw entirely. Then you're probably wondering, why ether drain? Well, like I mentioned earlier, Linkstrider is a track star style if you want to really play it correctly. So what ether drain potions do is they prevent anyone from chasing you. I mean, one ether drain potion, you can't use any mantras for around 30 to 35 seconds. I mean, how else are you gonna catch me? There's no way. And then we have our damage decrease potions. I mean, come on, it's just 3 damage decrease. Fun fact, this does actually work on mantras and PvE, so that does include bosses like Ethereum. So I don't know, cool fact, I guess. Then we have our total posture decrease potions, and then we have our infinite ether. So a common problem Linkstrider typically will have is that because we're in combat, right, our ether will generate slower, and we're not getting tempo. So we're actually not going to get ether all at a certain point. So infinite ether potions really help with that flaw, because we don't have to actually fight. We'll still get our ether even without fighting. And then we have slowness potions. I mean, they're not that crazy, they help. And finally, insanity potions are the ones you should really consider. I would carry a couple of these because these can fully counter a no life king user. Trust me, it's kind of funny to see them just run away and then their head pops in the background. You also need neuroplasticity, not for the cheaper modifiers, but you really need it for the extra wildcard slot, because as support, we really need every single support mantra we can get. Prediction's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's more noticeable with Blind Seer builds. Linkstrider, I don't really recommend it, but for Blind Seer, totally go for it. I mean, it's basically just a better parry. And then for Linkstrider, for intelligence builds, you typically want around 90 to 100 intelligence. If you have any lower than that, then you should have a whole other build to make you perfect potions, so like potions with 50 potency. So to actually get these potion talents, you need to have made one potion at least to even get these talents. And I think that's everything. Oh, I did forget. Intel does scale with bomb damage. If you didn't know, Linkstriders typically use bombs because we need it for bomb jumping. That's how we're actually going to move around a lot. And just bombs do a lot of damage with Intel. It does scale if you didn't know. Bombs scale with Intel. And that's all for intelligence. Let's talk about willpower. So there's 3 noticeable talents. We have Potion Quaffer. What it does is you basically drink potions half a second faster. It's pretty useful. It's pretty good in my opinion. Then we have Taste Test. If I remember, it's basically you have a 25% chance to not waste a potion. Pretty good. And the biggest one, the biggest reason why we're going for willpower is for rhythm. Now, not everyone knows this, but rhythm's actually really good with support, all right? Because it leads into the talent heartbeat sensor. What heartbeat sensor does is it reveals enemy players' health, and it tells us by the color of a circle around them. Let me explain. When you use rhythm, there's circles on the players, right? But when we have heartbeat sensors, they have colors now. Green means they're healthy, yellow means they're like half HP-ish, and red means they're like 33% HP, aka they're about to die. So what we can do is we can use call out, which is a talent by the way, and we can ping the people that are low, and we're basically communicating with our guild is who is low, who you should target. So definitely consider going heartbeat sensor for Linkstrider. Blind Seer, you don't really need it, but I would strongly advise getting this one. Charisma. I mean, who really could have guessed? Okay, come on. So surprisingly for Linkstrider builds, you don't even need Charisma. I mean, because your healing is just that strong. Now, before you all jump me really quick, let me explain my reasoning really quick. In big guilds, I mean huge guilds, if your guild typically runs like an 8 or 10 man in ganks, then Linkstrider really shouldn't be running Charisma. You should have two roles. You should have Blind Seer support, where one guy's in charge of Charisma, and you should have Linkstrider Alchemist, which is in charge of the healing more. That way the roles are divided and less stressful. But Linkstrider Charisma is still really good if you're in a guild of typically 2 to 6 players in ganks normally. Alright, so let's talk about noticeable talents for Linkstrider. For one, we should be using Taunt and Sing. I mean, Taunt is amazing. They take 20% more damage and they can't jump. And the only downside is we take 10% more damage. But as Linkstrider, we're not really fighting, so why would that matter? And then Sing is amazing because we can overcharm our teammates. Anytime we sing, we'll give them overcharm, so when every single one of their M1s will give charm. This is really good if they have tough love, which I mean most builds have, so come on. And it's also really good with talent and core. When a core does, it applies a 2-second stun to people who have the charm effect. I know, pretty crazy. And then we have Cult of Personality. You gain 3% pen for each person charmed, capping at 15 pen. And then we have Offer Game. Your taunt now slows enemies, basically. And then we also have Propagandist, which gives overcharm to all our teammates. Now, the last thing are Vow Commands. I mean, come on, this is a no-brainer. I mean, later on in the video, I'll explain little techniques you can do with all of these. And trust me, there's a good amount. Finally, don't use Summon Cauldron. Please do not waste your support mantra slot on Summon Cauldron. If your guild does not have a Cauldron, then fine, use Summon Cauldron. But please, if your guild has one, if your guild has a Cauldron, do not pick Summon Cauldron. It's a waste of a talent slot. Please stop doing that. Agility. Linkstrider needs this for Ghost and Conditional Runner. Now, for one, like I mentioned, a good Linkstrider will be constantly moving. They're constantly running around. So they need Conditional Runner for the health. And then we need Ghost as well. You may be wondering why Ghost. Well, for one, we can dodge and we'll be invis. We have like immunity. But the biggest one being, you can actually throw potions invisible. So Ghost is really good with Linkstrider. So I strongly advise getting Ghost on Linkstrider builds. And then we just have all the dodge talents that make us go faster. The more we dash, and dash is just really good for Linkstrider in general. I mean, it's a good choice. You should definitely always go. I mean, dash is just good. Weapon stats. So Linkstrider support. This is where things get a bit weird. So I recommend you just go 0 weapon. If you want to be a really good Linkstrider, you should have 0. But if you insist, there are some exceptions. So for one, Life Final Toll, my personal favorite with support. Go with that. I say that because we're investing 40 of our points already into a Murmur for Heartbeat Sensor. So I mean, like, why not? You also have Hero Blade for if you're picking a 2-mint, go Hero Blade, please. And finally, if you really want to go weapon, if you really want to, there's 2 options really that I find good. We have the Prudent Eden Staff. Hope I said that right. And we need it. It's really good because of the crit. The crit is an auto aim and a ragdoll. So I mean, come on, it's really good. And you also can consider Petra's Anchor. Again, for the same reason, its crit's really good. It's more mobility. So, but again, your choice if you're gonna invest 75 heavy into those. So again, your choice. Then you have Blind Seer support. I mean, really anything it doesn't matter too much. Though I would recommend light for blind seer. I say this because you can actually swap between your potions and bombs a lot quicker, because light weapons, they don't have a pull-out time. It's really small. There's just none. So that's why I really recommend light weapons typically for blind seer. But again, it doesn't really matter. You can pick whatever you want for blind seer. Attunements. What the? Oh, what? I think we're good. I think we're good now. All right, attunements. So my personal favorite, Spark Swap, so my personal favorite, Thunder Call, and I really like it for Spark Swap. Okay, now this is my preference. I'm not saying you have to go Thunder Call. I want to really emphasize this. For all these attunements, you don't have to pick it. I'm giving you my advice, and you can pick whatever one you like the most. Okay, my preference is Thunder Call for Spark Swap. There's a couple of things. We can Spark Swap and heal. We can Spark Swap to save teammates. So if our teammate's about to die, we Spark Swap the dude that's chasing him, and we heal our teammate. And we can Spark Swap those annoying track star builds. Those people that constantly run, we can Spark Swap with them and let our guild take care of them. Another thing, please do not use Jump Start. Please stop doing that. It's not good. Use Return. If you don't know, Return actually can revive your teammates that are down. Okay. Again, I'll get more into Vow stuff later. That's a little quick tip. Did I mention Spark Swap really good? I really like Spark Swap. Though this was a bit too good, so they didn't nerf it. So now Spark Swap does scale off your HP. So do keep that in mind. And the last thing before we move on, we do have Lightning Strike plus Potion Spam. So if you do manage to stun lock someone with Lightning Strike, you can just spam potions on them. Flame Charm. So I think Flame Charm's probably the best for support. But I don't use it. I like Thunder Call more, but I think Flame Charm probably is the best for a couple of reasons. So for one, Graceful Flame plus Return. I mean, come on. You could return your teammate, put him in Graceful. And this is especially good with Capra. Really good. It's a ton of healing you're going to get. Especially because if you're already getting 40 willpower for Heartbeat Sensor, you already have enough for Azure, so why not? Flame Charm does have amazing mobility. For one, you get access to Flame Assault, which is literally just a better dash, but like a lot. And you also go a lot further. Flame Leap, just pretty useful, get up to higher places. Great healing. I mean, really, you have Flame Wisp for self-healing, and then you have Graceful Flame. Come on. And then we have the new mantra. This one actually came up a bit recently. I think like a week ago when this video came out. But we actually we now have access to Flame Ballista, which is an auto aim move. And support players, come on, we love auto aim moves a lot. Overall, just pretty perfect. I don't think there's nothing wrong with Flame Charm. Galebreathe. Stop going Galebreathe, please. There's just one bad attunement with Linkstrider, like in my opinion, the worst one, and it's Galebreathe. I don't see a point for it. We do not need the mobility. Our Ether Drain and bombs and dash, we have so much mobility already. I don't see why we would invest points in the Gale Breath. I mean, Gale Lunge is not that crazy, guys. Please stop doing it. Gale, Hero Blade, Linkstrider. Stop doing that, please. But really quick though, there's one thing I like about Gale, and shout out to Nago for this. But what he does, he'll put 1 point into Gale, right? And he does that for Wind Blade, and he puts a Wayward on it. So it's basically a free teleport. Now, most people don't do this because it takes a combat monster. But because we're support players, I don't see why we wouldn't do this. I mean, there's no real reason not to. We don't really have any combat monsters. So, something to consider. I would consider doing this. I'm going to try it out. But consider going for this Windblade Wayward gem. Consider putting that in the build. Okay, Shadow. I mean, Shadow's kind of mid for support, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, it doesn't have too much. I mean, sure, you have Shadow Seekers, but I don't like them because you can't use any mantras in that state. And then we have like, okay, cool, Shadow has really good healing abilities, but you're usually going to hit your teammates. I mean, I don't really like Shadow. I mean, maybe there's something to it that I just don't know, but in my opinion, Shadow Linkstrider doesn't really work. Your job is to be constantly healing your teammates, not fighting. So personally, I don't really get it, but I can see how it works. So if you want, you can try it, but I don't know. I personally would rather go Thundercaller, Flame Charm, like how I previously mentioned. We have Iron Sting now. Iron Sting is pretty decent, okay? I mean, Jailer is pretty nice. Metal Ball is pretty good. Basically, like I said, like basically a better dash almost. Then you have Rocket Lance. I mean, come on. That's kind of all to it. There's not too much to Iron Sting. I wouldn't really use it, but you can if you want. I don't really see a problem with it. Then we have Ice. So Ice is pretty decent. I mean, you can spam Ice Daggers, like I said. Auto aim moves are amazing. So we're gonna definitely use Ice Daggers. I mean, come on. Then we can combine that with Frozen Pin Cushion to freeze people in place. It's pretty good. The health we steal using Saint J, we could just give back to our teammates with Linkstrider. And Frozen Legs is pretty good too. I mean, it's a talent if you didn't know, but basically if someone's standing on ice, we hit them with an ice punch. They'll basically be frozen to the floor, and that sets up combos for our teammates. So yeah, I mean, consider going ice. Blind Seer, I mean, Blind Seer, I don't really know. I don't really have any opinion on that. Attunementless, I mean, Attunementless is pretty good. There's less RNG. We don't have to worry about attunements getting in the way. I think Linkstrider is a really good choice. I don't think there's anything wrong with going attunementless. Blind Seer, maybe you can go with as well. Like same reason, you can go if you want. All right, bells. So there's a ton of really good bells for support. First off, my personal favorite, Corrupted Portals. This is, in my opinion, the best bell for Linkstrider support. Is just amazing. We can do so much with this. Like for one, we can throw potions invisible. Two, we can really fast. Corrupted Portals is crazy, by the way. Three, we can pick up down teammates. I mean, you should be using return, but and if you want. And you can also do a really cool bomb combo that I'll display on the screen right now. And another thing, you can actually use rhythm and portals if you didn't know. So, and you actually don't even move any slower. So it's really good. I mean, rhythm plus portals is a really good combo. So really consider going portals. Really consider it. I mean, for Blind Seer, it's alright. I mean, next one, Kamui. I hope I said that right. I really hope I said that. So, I mean, while it's a really good bell for support, I mean, all return plus Kamui, use a free escape. I mean, you guys are not gonna die. You're basically fine. If your guild does a lot of depth ganking, consider picking this bell. But I mean, it's just really good for Blind Seer or Linkstrider. It's just really good. And then we have Corrupted Run It Back. I mean, it's not the best, but I do like it because if you use Sustain as Linkstrider, you won't lose any health. So hey, that's a little cool thing if you want to try it out. Then we have Corrupted Sacred Field. It's a pretty good choice for Blind Seer, and it's a good choice for Linkstrider. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's really good in general. Then we have Corrupted Resurrection. I mean, I have mixed opinions about this, honestly. I mean, the one good thing about it is the sleep and res combo you can do with it. If you didn't know, if you apply Resurrection on someone and then sleep them with Alchemy, they will revive. But it's kind of hard to do that in an actual fight because you do stand still for like a second or two. So use it at your own risk. Corrupted just heals like another 20%. It's nothing crazy. It also does stack with Polite Awakening, but really, I don't recommend it. But you can if you want. It might be useful in like big guild wars, so consider it. Then we have Reaper Bell. I mean, the idea of Reaper Bell is basically I take HP, I give it back to you. But my argument is your guildmates probably have Reaper Bell, and why are you stealing the HP that your guildmates could have just cooked if they had it? I don't know. I don't really like it. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, only do it if no one in your guild uses Reaper Bell. But even then, I think Corrupted Portals is probably a better choice. And for Blind Seer support, I don't know. I just said mid. I don't know. Just do whatever. I think Corrupted Sacred Field is better for Blind Seer. If you want. These are all recommendations. There are now the two new bells that got added. I don't really have an opinion on these. Preservation, it kind of just sucks. I mean, return is just a lot better. I mean, why would I want to pick up my down teammates when I could just revive them with a Val command that refreshes every 15 seconds? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And Smokescreen's interesting. Okay, You could say it's outclassed by portals. You could say that. But there's two notable things that Smokescreen does have that portals doesn't. For one, you can throw bombs in Smokescreen. You can do that. Another thing, you can use sustain in Smokescreen, and you can actually teleport with Smokescreen. So if you didn't know, corrupted Smokescreen basically does this. There's a giant smoke cloud basically in the middle, and there's 3 other ones surrounding it. And when you use Smokescreen again, you'll teleport to one of those 3 smaller clouds. I don't really like it though, because you are kind of just camping in the smoke, when I believe you should be running more as Linkstrider, but it is interesting. I don't know too much about it right now, so you can consider trying it. I don't think it's terrible. You can consider trying it, but if you want to play it safe, go corrupt the portals. I mean, it's just my favorite. Then we have hard counters. Okay, so their support has 2 hard counters. It's pretty bad, but if we use our brain, we can manage it. So for one, oh my god, what the St. J builds, they hard counter us, okay? They really do. They can steal our healing effect. So really, you do not want to be healing at all. You want to be doing everything but healing. Now, some of you may think support's just useless at that point, but don't be mistaken. You can still use your potions, and bombs, and alchemy. You have so much utility. Do not forget that. So if this does happen, your friend does get low, remember the following. Tell your friend to run away. Throw an ether drain potion on the St. J user, or if you do go spark swap, you can spark swap. Distract the St. J user, and then heal your friend when the chilling effect's gone. It's just that simple. But hey, it is a hard counter, so please keep an eye out for these. Next, this is a bigger problem. All the dead gods. Personally, I don't think a talent should be countering an entire oath. Personally, but I guess it's the devs differ, I guess. So if you didn't know, all the dead gods apply 100% anti-heal on hits. That's a big problem. So similar with St. J builds, you gotta do the following. Just tell your friend to run away. Just throw an ether drain on the all of dead gods user, or spark swap. Distract the enemy. Heal your friend when he attacks. It's just that. Now, one thing I do want to say, if they are a silent heart, if it's a silent heart, all the dead gods user, instead of throwing ether drain, just throw a damage decrease potion instead, or throw your bombs. I mean, bombs are pretty hard to block and parry nowadays. I mean, they're pretty cancerous, so just do one of those two. Damage decrease potion or bomb. Throw it on the silent heart kid. If the silent heart is an all dead gods user, throw a damage decrease or bomb on it. That's all you gotta do. Or you can spark swap the guy. I mean, I'm joking. You don't have to use spark swap. I just really like spark swap, okay? Now let's talk about the pros of support. What are all our little power-ups? This one's specifically for Linkstrider. Yeah, we have quite a bit. Okay. For one, anti-boss raid. Your guild cannot get boss raided. I'm sorry, it just cannot happen. If you have one Linkstrider that actually knows what he's doing, you cannot be boss raided. It's just not possible anymore, okay? I'm sorry, it cannot happen. If your Linkstrider heals you every 7 seconds, you cannot be boss raided. It just cannot happen. It just can't. So yeah, anti-boss raid. It just cannot happen. No Life King users. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, one insanity potion is all it takes. I mean, you're just dead. And now all our buffs. Alright, we have Command Fight, attack and defense buff. If you didn't know, this bypasses the damage cap. 50% damage decrease potions. Taunt causing 20% more damage taken. Anti-jump. Command Live. Fun fact about Command Live, I can still use it even if my friend isn't down. So, if you didn't know that, cool fact. Return reviving every 15 seconds. Reinforce, hold F. It gives a better damage resistance and damage output. Not totally sure if that's true, but it is a fact. Does work on down allies, keep that in mind. Ether drain for 35 seconds. Spark swap, anti-runner. Almost an entire bar of healing every 7 seconds. Leech, damage plus slowing. I mean, really, it's just amazing. Linkstrider's leech ability is pretty good. Command Run, really good in water. Crazy self-healing potions for us. Infinity Ether potions, Sing plus Core combo for free stuns, Overcharm, Propagandist, bombs, saving teammates, all return, canceling grips, all return can do, and Capra's OP healing, Mark of Jurek. Now, if you're probably confused what I'm saying by that. And no, I'm not saying sit at a campfire and heal. I'm not saying that at all. Okay? Because Mark of Jurek, I'll actually explain this later on with Mark of Jurek and why it's so broken for Capra and why if you do make a support building, go Capra, leave, have to go Capra. But I'll explain that later. Then we have total posture damage, decreased potions. It's basically they take around triple the posture damage, so it really pairs really well with dagger builds. So keep that in mind. Slowing potions, symbiotic link plus speed demon. If you didn't know, symbiotic link does proc speed demon, so that's pretty cool. Rhythm plus call out, I already told you. RPG sensor, golden tongue, rhythm plus portals, sanity potions. I mean, they're really nice. They just give you sanity. They're really strong. So give those to your no life king users. And yeah, there's probably more I forgot. That it's just that many. There's so much, and I probably forgot more. Mantras and modifiers. So these are things you should consider, really. Sing and taunt. So this is a bit weird. So you can increase the range of sing by a lot. It's enormous. It's crazy amount. Now this one I'm not totally sure about. People say leave your sing and taunt at level 1 because the cooldown is shorter. But what I've been told is level of sing and taunt is higher, the effect lasts longer, but the cooldown is also longer. If that's true, pick which one fits you, whichever you like more. Personally, I would pick a higher level sing if that's true. And Blessed Gem does not work on either. Dash and Flame Assault, I mean, yeah, really good for support build, just more mobility. Really nice. Symbiotic Sustain, I mean, you can half the cooldown. The Blessed Gem, you can heal every 7 seconds. That sounds pretty amazing to me. Parasitic Leech, you should, put a Bloodless on it. You'll do like 2 to 3% less damage, but usually what happens is people usually block Leech normally, so I would just do it. Doesn't matter. Just put a Bloodless on it unless you really want the extra damage. Symbiotic Link, it does proc Speed Demon, and what Speed Demon does give a 30% damage bonus because of bleed. So again, most builds use Speed Demon, so this is a free damage increase, and it does bypass the damage cap. Oh, and bypasses armor. I forgot about that. Flame Ballista and Ice Daggers. I mean, they're just auto aim moves. They're amazing for support. But like I mentioned earlier, Shadow Seekers you should not do. You can't use mantras in that state, and that leaves you open to being attacked. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Stop doing it. Mind Suit. So if you didn't know, you can actually increase the range of it with crystal lenses and perfect lenses. So keep that in mind. You can really increase the range. Graceful Flame. I mean, Return, Graceful Flame, Mark of Jurek. Amazing. So much healing. And the Spark Swap. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I'm just biased with Spark Swap, okay? Again, I really want to emphasize, you do not have to use Spark Swap. I just really like Spark Swap, okay? I'm sorry. I just really like Spark Swap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I just really like... Play the bomb clip again. Do the bomb clip again. A little technique I learned. I'll put the guy in the video. I forgot his name. But he told me a little technique where you drop a bomb and then you spark swap with someone. And then as soon as you spark swap, the bomb explodes. And the guy you spark swap took the damage. I'll play the clip on screen. But just a little cool technique. Shout out to the guy. I put his Discord in the video. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but I really like that technique. I was really smart. Lightning Strike. Very dangerous combo. I mean, potions, Lightning Strike is very dangerous. You can make it last longer with permanently on Logstones. You can just literally spam potions. It's really dangerous if you can land this Lightning Strike. I don't use Lightning Strike. I just thought this was a cool fact someone might like to know. So, hey, if you ever do use it, let me know. It's pretty cool. And Summon Cauldron. Do not use Summon Cauldron. I already spoke about this. Do not use it. Use your guild base. If your guild base doesn't have one, then fine. You can use Summon Cauldron. And then Reinforce. I mean, I personally don't use it for my builds because Reinforce does take a support mantra slot, but I think it's still really good. It's really good. I think it's a preference though. I personally don't like it, but I personally don't use it. Sorry, I don't want to say like it. I think it's really good still. Now the best race. Okay, so people who watched my video, you probably already know what I'm gonna say. But for people who don't know, it's Capra. Okay. Now it's not for the obvious reason that you have the little healing buff. We already know this. What you don't know is you don't even need to be at a campfire for Mark of Jurek. I'm not joking. You do not need to be at a campfire for Mark of Jurek. And just to prove it, I'm gonna play a clip on the screen right now. Me using Mark of Jurek on someone. Because you do not need a campfire. You don't need to be at a campfire to use Mark of Jurek. It's a common misconception. Someone please update the wiki. What's also crazy is it actually heals almost double the amount than the other Jureks. So the other two Jureks, the other two marks, they only heal around 13 to 15%. Mark of Jurek heals around 20 to 30. And you don't even need to be on a campfire. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. And I'm surprised no one uses it. So if you have a Capra, please use Jurek. Also, you can do the Holotide variant because I'm pretty sure they also use Jurek. So cool fun. Weapon enchant. For Blind Seer, I mean for Linkstrider, you don't really need a weapon like I said. I'm not gonna list one. There's none of them really stand out. For Blind Seer, there's one I like to consider. And it's No Life King. Now, it is really good with Blind Seer. Okay, we know this because the sanity. Go for 2. If you do go Alchemist Blind Seer, if you do go as that. Not saying you have to. If you do go as it, consider using sanity and healing potions. As we know, No Life King has 2 downs. It's insanity problem and its healing problem. I mean, you can't use conditional runner. But our potions bypass that. And our sanity potions fix the insanity problem. So if you're about to get your head popped, just quickly drink a sanity potion. And those things work wonders, by the way. And just drink a healing potion for even stronger healing. I mean, it's just that great good. It's just that good. I mean, even then, you don't even need an alchemist build to do this. You could just have your Linkstrider friend, your alchemist, whoever is playing alchemist, give you the potions and you'll still be fine. I mean, it's really good, trust me. Vow Mastery combo. So here's a couple of combos you should consider. So for one, Live does work on unknocked players, will heal in full. Return revives down players and does stack with Polite Awakening. Resurrection plus sleep combo equals free heal. Quick tip, copy and paste all return. Trust me, it will help. Return plus Kamui. I really hope I'm saying that right. Return plus Kamui Bell equals a free escape. You can basically return everyone's about to die and use Kamui and they're just gone, like away. So really good in depth. And then Olive, I'm pretty sure targets the closest person. You guys need to test this because I don't trust myself enough. But I'm pretty sure Olive will target the closest person to you. So if you don't want to type their ginormous name like Bartholomew, you can type Olive and make sure they're close to you. I'm pretty sure that works. Don't hold me against it, but I'm pretty sure Olive targets the closest person. And finally, return cancels grip. So if the rare scenario where they don't auto grip your friend, you can use return to cancel the grip. Now let's talk about Linkstrider synergies. So what oaths work well with Linkstrider? Well, there's 4 in mind. Silent Heart. Silent Heart works the best. And I say this because we can literally just spam ether drain potions. Why does it matter if the Silent Heart gets hit? He doesn't even use manchas. The only reason why it's bad is because Silent Heart can't use overflowing dam anymore. But apart from that, I could just spam ether drain potions and now it's just an unfair 1v1 with a Silent Heart. Arc Warder, you're literally going to give him more defense. I mean, your 50% damage decrease and your healing. Your friend's going to be so tanky, it's not even going to be fair. Contractor's pretty decent only because of Judgment. If your Contractor uses Judgment on someone, they're basically held in place, so that gives you time to just spam potions on them, and I'm pretty sure potions do not break Judgment. Pretty sure on that. And then finally, Jet Striker plus Run. This used to be overpowered back then. I'm just going to play a little meme clip. This is how it used to be. It's not like this anymore, but you can do something similar to this. But back then, this used to be absurdly broken. And yeah, like I said, here's the clip. It was so dumb. I'm bro. What is this? Next, we have hat choices. So, or helmet choices, whatever you want to call it. So there's two that come in mind. There's only two. You either have the strapped black hat, whatever you want to call it, and you have the alchemist helmet. Now you have to pick between the two. Strapped black hat will give you bad effects. The negative effects you give on people are amplified even more. And yes, it does stack with. You already have exterminator, it stacks with it. And the same can be said with the alchemist hat. But the difference here is that alchemist hat gets pitcher and your healing potions are better. So pick which one fits you more. My preference is strap black hat. I like it more. I like ether drain potions being stronger. But if you prefer healing more, then go for that alchemist hat. But really pick which one fits you. I don't think either is worse or either is better. Both are good in their own ways. But my preference will always be the black strap hat. But if you want, you could also go with that alchemist hat. Support PvP. Linkstrider support is just completely different than average PvP, okay? Like I've mentioned a bit in the video, you're not meant to be fighting. You have to be constantly moving and running. I say this because you want to be annoying to the enemy. You want to be debuffing them. You want to be keeping your teammates alive. You want to be healing. You want to be returning. You want to be all fighting, living, just whatever you can. Stay alive and constantly healing your teammates. And give good comms. Say who's low. Like, there's just so much. But you're doing everything but fighting. You should not be fighting, okay? Your utility. You're not fighting. I really want to say this. You're not fighting as Linkstrider. Stop fighting as Linkstrider. So, I have a Linkstrider PvP guide. I'm not going to play in this video, but I do have a new PvP guide planned. If you're watching this and it's not out, you can watch my Linkstrider PvP guide. It's pretty decent. It teaches you some tips. It is outdated though. I mean, 3 months ago, it's pretty old, but I will make a new one. I promise you guys, I will make a new PvP guide because there's just so much tech and stuff that's been discovered. So yes, there will be a new PvP guide because this is old school stuff. But yes, the stuff in that video is still useful, so consider watching. And then there's just a good build. I mean, this build is not pure support, okay? First, it's a Linkstrider. It's going to be a Linkstrider build. But I wanted this to be a build where you don't have to fully rely on your teammates, as I do know people like to solo progress and stuff as support. And sometimes they have to. But here's just a good build. I encourage you to make, before I show this, I really encourage you, make your own support build. Use all the stuff I taught you here. Make your own. But if you really want, you can use this one. It's not pure support, but you have some defense stuff. You can actually play the game by yourself with this build as well. You're not fully reliant on your teammates. But here it is. This is a support build you can use. This is the one I send to people the most. It's not mine anymore. I used to use this, but I went for a more pure support style. So this build does have a lot of RNG. I mean, it's a ton. Trust me, it's pretty bad. So for one, you should go 75 charisma, 80 if you want a level 5 sing and taunt. If you want that. 50 thunder call, and then you should go 1 agility, 1 intel, 1 willpower. After you put your investment points at the start. It doesn't really matter what you put in investment points at the start as long as it's one of those 3. So if you go like 2 in agility, 2 intel, 1 willpower, like it doesn't matter. Just after your starting at points, make sure at least you put 1 each of those 3. Please do that. It's really important. After shrine, you should at least make 1 potion so that you get potion talents. and then you should do one stat at a time. We do this because we want to really lower the RNG. We want to really make sure you get every single talent. Okay, do one stat at a time. I know it's gonna take longer, but trust me, you need so many talents for support that you really want to lower the RNG. So take your time. Promise you, it's worth it. And then yeah, you can look at the order here. I'm gonna post a link in the description, don't worry. And then information. Now we're gonna talk about some information on the build. You should obviously, oh my gosh, what is going on? What is going on? Okay, it's, yeah, like I said, general information on the build. You want to go Capra. I've explained why, but if you weren't listening, you can use Mark of Jerk anywhere. You don't need to be at a campfire, and it heals 20 to 30%, which is basically double the amount than the other two marks. For my build, I use Black Diver. I know there's a armor that gives you Apothecary. I don't recommend it though, because you're gonna take so much more damage. But the damage resistance is just so low on that armor that you should just use Black Diver. It's so much better. Just any armor that just has good defense, really. But I like Black Diver, so it just fits. And then Murmur, always go Rhythm. I mean, no reason not to. I mean, Heartbeat Sensor is really that good for my build. Of course, my build I use Rhythm. Item armor, I use Diver's Light Plate because it just gives you the most HP, and then I think it gives you the most anyways. And then Black Strapped Hat just gives you better Exterminator. That's my preference. Again, you can also use Alchemist Hat, but I use Black Strapped Hat in my build. So I like better Ether Drain. Do the bond quest right after Shrine of Order. I do remember support does use bombs. I'm saying my build a lot because I used to use this, but I don't use it anymore. But yeah, do the bomb quest right after you Shrine of Order. Right after, do it. If you want if you're really scared about RNG, so if you're like progressing this build deep-bound wise, it's better just to unlock Thunder. If you're lazy like me, you can just, and if you do Trial of 1, you can just start with Thunder, it's fine. Just a bit more RNG. But if you are a deep-bound player, I would progress the build without Thunder Call at the start. Yeah. And more combat mantras equal less talents, so really, I would only pick one Thunder Call mantra. And then in the future, unless you get Spark Slot by pure luck, which is not gonna happen, you're gonna need to use a shrine. I forgot the shrine name, but it's in Ministry. And the shrine, you sacrifice 5 knowledge, and it gives you replace your mantra for one of like 3 or 4. It gives you. So you're basically replacing the Thunder Call mantra for a chance of Spark Swap. And the shrine's at Ministry. I forgot the name, but you do that. My build, you need all the dead gods. Ghost is required. Conditional Runner is required, and especially Neuroplasticity. You need it. Do not get Safety Dance or Observation because it does block out Ghost if you didn't know. And Return to Dark Ages is optional. I mean, I personally would use it. I recommend it, but again, you don't need it. I know some of you are mantra freaks. So like I said, like the build's really good if you can't rely on teammates because it's a light final tool build. So you're not gonna do crazy damage. You can still do your stuff on your own. You can escape depths on your own. Do all that typically. Your potions are gonna really help you. Like if you're scared of like a corrupted enforcer, just half its damage, and then just kill it normally. You're fine. And if it's a Squibbo or something, you can just spam bombs on it. Like you're fine. Trust me. So if your teammates aren't gonna put the effort for you, why should you put the effort for them? So I would use this build if your teammates aren't gonna willingly help you get the knowledge for your support build or help you escape depths. So use this build. But I really want to emphasize this. This is not the only way to play support. I've seen some amazing support builds out there. They're really cool. They're really interesting. This is just one I like that I think newer support players should use because you're not as reliant on your teammates. You can at least do some stuff on your own. Okay. However, if your teammates are like diehard for you, it's not often. If you do have like diehard teammates, do not use a weapon at all. Don't even use one. I promise it's just better, but that's not the case for everyone. Sorry if that isn't for you. that's not the case for you, I'm sorry. And again, like, I really want to say this, do not need Spark Swap. I just really like Spark Swap. Just use what works for you. If prudent staff works for you, use it. If life final toll works for you, use it. If you don't like no weapon, then don't do it. Just use what works for you. Just remember, at the end of the day, we need to be constantly running and healing our teammates. That's our job. And progression is gonna absolutely suck, okay? The progression of this build is horrendous, okay? Because you know what's gonna happen? Once you're gonna be level, I don't know what level, but you're gonna get all your stats, right? You're gonna get your 75 charisma, and then you're gonna have your 80 thunder call. But then you're gonna realize, wait a minute, I don't have Spark Swap. I'm at 75 charisma and 50 thunder call, but there's no way of me getting Spark Swap. Well, you're right, because they're gonna have to go through a lot of BS now. So, like I mentioned earlier, you're gonna have to use knowledge and re-roll your mantra and hope you get Spark Swap. And then after you waste all your knowledge re-rolling for Spark Swap, you're gonna then need to get another 10 knowledge for Shrine of Order, progress through the build. Yeah, have fun with this. I think you could do Thunder Call then Charisma, but I don't recommend it because you're gonna have a lot more RNG because you're gonna have so many Thunder Call talents. And when I mean there's a lot of RNG in this build, I mean there's a lot. Like, these are the pre-shrine talents that you need. You need all of these except Under the Radar. So you need the Thunder Call, you need Encore, you need Propaganda, you need all the Vow commands, you need Charisma Cast and Charisma. You don't need Tough Love, you can get it. Neuroplasticity, Call Out, and if you want Under the Radar, I mean, I recommend Under the Radar. I mean, support players, we do not like getting ganked. Like, trust me when I say Under the Radar is so nice, because now Voidwalkers will not attack us. And trust me, it's worth the investment point, because if we're like helping our teammates progress, they're not going to get ganked as easily. I don't like farming ingredients and then a random Voidwalker attacks me and then complains on why I was running. Yeah, Under the Radar is really nice, but you need basically all of these except Tough Love. You don't really need it, but anyway. Actually, wait. No, you do need Tough Love. I'm pretty sure you need that for lasting charisma, so don't take my word for that. I don't remember though. And then, oh yeah, that's the end. I have no idea how long this is gonna be. I wonder how long. If you actually sat through all of this, then congrats. Okay, you're better and have more potential than most of the people that just skipped off the video after the first maybe 2 minutes. I understand it was probably boring. I have no idea if this was interesting at all. I know there's no editing, there's nothing cool happening on the screen, there's no dopamine rushes, but like, this is a learning video. This is not meant to hype the idea of support. My other videos were like that because I want to build a whole audience like, hey, support is really cool, I want you guys to really try it. But this video was just informative. That was it. I don't expect this to get views, maybe a couple hundred at most. I have really low hopes for this video, but hey, I hope you learned something. For those of you who stuck around at this point, congrats. You definitely did more effort than most people that watched this video. I hope you actually learned something as well. If you really want, you could like skim through back and go back a bit in the video. If you do want the slideshow, I can send it to you on Discord. Just hit me up, send me a message. I might post. I'll probably post this in the Discord, the slideshow. But yeah, I think that's everything. But I probably forgot some stuff. And hey, this video, like my others, are gonna get outdated. New things are gonna change. New things are gonna be added. So I encourage you to join the Discord so you get info on what's happening, what's the new metas, what's changing. But yeah, that's everything. And support your teammates, guys.